நான் ரெக்கார்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். நான் செஷனை வந்து பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிடுறேன்.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Very good morning everyone present here. Today we have our guest Dr. V. Krishna Kumar, who has a vast knowledge and he has been in practice and founder of lot of initiatives like WelloZen lifestyle, RedonX, and following that he has been with a lot of extracurricular skills as well. He have been giving a lot of psychology based support to lot of people. Even I have the own experience where once upon when we were on travel, my brother particularly, he was completely sick at night time. It's around 11 I think so, when we were in trip. So based on Krishna's brothers, his wonderful skill and wonderful job, he was able to travel along with us and we completed the trip successfully. Such a miracle person in a young age. He's contributing a lot and he's a very big academician, and even I was very much inspired. I was doing my psychology side by side. So this everything has been very inspiring to me as well. So he has a lot of, I will to say that it will take a day for me to explain how he is precious, and he has given us like precious time and sharing his knowledge today on the topic free mind is a moral mind. And as everybody knows, International Workers Day is something very important. We have been from centuries, we have been working as a slavery, and then we had lot of amendments with laws, labor laws and employee based acts. Employ me, what is mean by employee, what is meant by employer, all the definitions was being given, and based on that we have lot of evolutions on the grounds of working people. But still we need to concentrate on our psychological based mental health as well, because when people are concentrating particularly in police department or other departments, people work a lot but they will not concentrate on their mental health. A lot of people used to say, I'm in a slavery based work, I'm not able to answer, I'm not able to spend time with my family. Not only them, even military personnel, army personnel, a lot of, and even in IT field they have lot of stress which is being reflected after their 35 40 years. I think so. Even a spinal based, hip based, all types of problems comes up. Even a lot of people comes up with a lot of piles issues, kidney stones issues, and lot more to be explained in orthodox bone based and cancer. Everything comes up because of the food culture and everything. But what we used to get insights on many stuff, but not with the mind, which is being very important for us. If we get tired in the willpower and the mindset, we won't be able to concentrate on any work as well. So here, very big, I will say in a very young age, he has completed his PhD, and the platform is yours, sir. Please, I welcome you, my hearty, and you can take the platform.
Thank you so much for the very detailed explanation. Thank you for that. I'm really glad that I'm present here today, because when we try to contribute something to the society, many people have their own way of doing it, just by donating, and just by donating foods, money, and shelters, and even clothes. But what I truly believe is we have to share, and we have to contribute knowledge, and we have to contribute education to make their life better. It's like not giving them a fish, it's like teaching them how to get it. So that's why I consider speaking and enlightening them with the knowledge is more important than donating them with money, which could be spent. But knowledge, once we have it, we cannot spend it, because when we try to spend more, it will grow more. So that's why really glad to share whatever I know in a humble way, that because the more you grow, one thing will come to you as an insight that you are not having much knowledge, or you are not knowing even a tiny speck of this whole universe. Because with that attitude, it's like a baby. Because a baby learns things, everything at a very enjoyable and a very enthusiastically, because a baby is so eager to learn. So that's what made me to learn more things. So I can't say more, because more is not enough in this world. So May 1st, as a work, it's a workers' day, and they're also called Labor's Day. So it has a very rich history behind it, how it has been followed each day. Each year they are celebrating Labor's Day, uh, because everyone sees things in their own perspective. So how I see the Labor's Day is, uh, the Labor's Day was also have a, what they say, demand. They demanded to work 8 hours a day. So that was the demand when they asked and fight for, because they cannot work the whole day, because the point of working is not to work and to make a living out of it. The way we learn and the way we grasp things uh, is purely based on uh, survival, because workers are not working to survive, they are working to live. That's what's more important, because a living is enjoying, and living is perceiving every single aspect of your life. Even drinking a very good coffee and having a cozy shelter, it's all a part of living. But surviving is, even though you are sitting in office, or even though you are in a place you are feeling very uncomfortable, you'll be sitting there, but uh, your mind will be rambling around the things you want. So actually, you are not living that place. So the 8 hours is more important, because even in our company, we'll not make any employee to work beyond 8 hours, because we strongly believe that a life is for living. So it is not meant to be purely earning or purely to survive. So to have this, because our mind is driven by the desire, our mind is driven by fear. So it is a very broad classification, because when I say desire, there are a number of things we desire. We desire wealth, we desire different delicacies, foods, we desire different luxuries, like having a very good car instead of traveling in public transport. So we desire many things. We desire those things, but essentially we have to think that the what we desire really enhances our experience, or really improves our happiness. Does it really improve it? Definitely not. Because the happiness is not in an external thing. It's not in the way or the objects which is surrounding you. The happiness is within. So the people want to buy something, they want to achieve something, so they constantly run and run behind it to get that, to acquire that. They lose their time acquiring that, they lose their money which they earned, they lose their health, they lose their quality time with their family. So to get something more than what they have right now, they are constantly striving for it, they're constantly grabbing it and running behind it. So that's not the way of living. So that's the spectrum of desire. there is a another spectrum called fear, because somebody is having some object or some take it, if somebody have a very good phone, if somebody have a very good house, we are deeply insecure. So I don't have it, so what others will think about me in the society. When you take some students, they think it in a different way. If they get low marks than the peers, they definitely think that they are inferior to them, so they strive more. So the point is, we have to know what we want. So that clarity is very important, because at the end of the game, everybody want to feel happy. Everybody want to be in a peaceful state of mind. They are not going to achieve it through running behind any objects. So contentment is not coming. Everybody says that okay, you should be contented, don't desire more thing. So the point is not in having an idea of contentment. It should come from the clarity of your life. There is a completely different view of it. When we know what is the outcome, when you run behind an object or when you try to acquire something, it's definitely will lead you to some place where you don't desire, because you take a path believing that it will take you somewhere, but at the we cannot say the destiny we cannot say the destiny just by looking at the path. If you just take a road, we cannot say until we finish that road where it will go, where will it reach. So we need to be so clear which path we should choose. The most beautiful thing is, if we choose the path which makes others happy, which makes us happy internally, and which takes care of your life, that's more important. That's the clear path you should take, not based on the destiny you want to reach. So to get this idea, to get this, it's just an idea, right? To make this idea into your experience, you need to have that clarity. Whenever you think of something, we need to think about the outcome. So, what's the outcome? If I do this, what will happen? The thing which is going to happen, is it worth the effort we are putting today, or we are living today? So that's more important. So the clarity which we get out of observation, the clarity which we get out of thinking about the outcome, and the clarity about what we want is very essential to have a very peaceful mind. So today's topic is free mind is a moral mind. So I wanted to customize a bit for Farid's sister, because she's a lawyer. So lawyers have a certain perspective about people. So lawyers, I'm not blaming anybody. So because we are not exposed to such kind of understanding. But to make this a generalized view, I humbly put forth my points. So please bear with me. And even if you differ from my opinions, you can let me know. And if the time provides, I can really clarify your doubts. Okay? So let me start about the differentiating points. Okay? When we see people, we see it in two ways, good or bad. But it's a very superficial way of seeing things. It's very superficial. Because if you take somebody, if they're good, means they have a set of characters to have a very good beauty. So they should dress well and they should talk well, and they should help, they should be generous, and they should not be selfless. So these are all the characteristics we think the people are good. I say the same characteristics of a person, but you can definitely differ the idea. And politician is doing service, essentially not the way we think, but he is doing a service. He is well dressed and he is well communicating, and he makes himself selfless to others. So these are the images he exposes of himself to the people. So that's why people elect them as the representative of them. So you take this. These qualities doesn't make the man good. The quality which makes a man really, the right way to say is the quality which makes the man to live in harmony with the society is the quality of understanding and empathizing others. So when you think whatever happens to me and whatever happens to others, the same experience as myself, then the person will never hurt anybody. When people are in anger, they make mistakes. Anger is also essentially comes from the desire. As I said, desire has a very strong root. It's a very broad classification because we expect we expect something from others. We expect something from others. This expectation we can call it as desire. You desire somebody, someone to be like the image you created about themselves. I know it's a bit complicated, but you can try to understand. Okay, we try to think of them, and we have an image about them. So to we want others to live up to that expectation, to live up to the image. If they go against that image, we think it as it makes us angry. It makes us angry. For example, you have a kid. We expect the kid to be disciplined. We expect it to behave rightly in front of others, not ruining your reputation. So that kid is not behaving. He's throwing a tantrum. He's running here and there and shouting like hell. But the essential nature of the kid is to run, is to expend the energy. To expend the energy is to shout, is to run, because the essential nature of the body of the kid is to grow. In order to grow, it has to move. It has to move. So to move, it runs and it makes tantrum. We cannot make them sit like like us, because we are trained to make our body rest. So what is the example of the kid has to do with our mind? The kid, the nature of the kid is to move, to shout, to be undisciplined, all that. It's like the same, people have a certain nature, they have certain character. To have that character, they are grown in a certain way and they are put up in a certain environment. That's why they are behaving the way they are behaving. Okay, for example, a kid, recently we saw in the news that a school student is threatening a teacher. We've seen that it has become a very big news, and even Sailendra Babu sir also
Giving a video.
we saw that. Okay, essentially, we move on to next topic, because it's like I'm telling a story, but behind each story there is a psychological concept behind it. There is a point behind it. If you follow the story, the moral of the story will be that point. It's very simple. Okay, so we'll talk about identity crisis. It is one of the most used word all around the world. At the same time, it is the most misunderstood thing. So, uh, a student is behaving like a man in the movie
Yes.
because he acquires that character and he thinks he is the one and he is acting. But the identity he possesses in the mind and his true identity is different. So that's the nature of it. If you go and mingle with certain people, eventually you will get those characters into you. Even when you talk, those kind of speech, those kind of accent will slowly enter into your mind. So the image we pursue, the ideas we take in, those ideas are exposed subconsciously. We are not doing it consciously, but subconsciously it happens. So this is what the identity crisis happening in the minds of young people, because why it is happening in the young people and not in the adults, because in adults they've gone through a lot of struggle, they've gone through a lot of politics, they've gone through a lot of superiority complex and inferiority complex, and they are beaten up to the ground, and it made them realize that who they are. Because at certain point we believe we are superior and we are great, but at certain point when we meet somebody who makes you fumble and who makes you to hit the ground, then we realize out of that shock who we are. So adults go through this process and they become shaped, but it is not happening in the young people's mind because they don't have that uh, character which is fully built. So that's why 18 years and 21 years are fixed before we call them an adult. Okay, so these are the few things we have to understand. Why? Because the free mind is not something very easily achieved. The free mind only can be moral. If you are constantly irritated, means if somebody constantly irritates you, subconsciously will turn us give them a tight slap. We don't know, we don't have any vengeance, we don't have really just feel it, just uh, grasp it, because what I'm saying is uh, a very common thing, but we didn't have time to pay attention to that situation. Somebody is itching you, subconsciously you pull your hand back and you become ready to slap them. So this is what happening to all the people who did crime. Who did crime also. You realize you are a lawyer, you are a teacher, and you are in a high authority. Even those people will undergo the same thing because of their reflex. Because of their reflex, they are doing something. Even if a mosquito bites, you kill them. It is the biggest crime. You killed somebody. You have to go to jail. So the right has to be given to the animals also. So the thing is, the same animal is also sitting inside you. The same animal is also sitting inside you. Since because you killed a mosquito, you escaped. If the mosquito sue you to the court, then nobody will hit the mosquito. They'll put the net instead of putting an all out, which is much more simpler. So these are the funny things when we think about it. It really gives you a lot of clarity. Like the same, you know, when crimes are being not orchestrated, organized crime is different. They're much more complex, uh, organized. But day-to-day crimes like pickpocketing and violence behavior, everything happens in a second in a subconscious way. So that subconscious things happens because you don't have the spontaneous clarity. Till now, I'm saying about clarity. You understood what the hell is spontaneous clarity? Because you take some people, if you take somebody who is truly enlightened, means he will be aware of himself 24 by 7. Definitely, I am not one. I am a very commoner like you people. But I know people who are much more aware. I know few gurus or few sages who are constantly 24 bar 7, who are aware of themselves and aware of the situation around them. If they are aware, they get the clarity the moment the things happens. Moment things happens because, as I said before, subconsciously as a reflex, you hit that mosquito. But realize at that second, if you have spontaneous clarity, if you have spontaneous clarity, you will not hit that mosquito. You just sway it away. So, and this is what makes a difference between a sage and a human and an animal. So, we are animalistic at certain times and we are divinistic at certain times. So when next time when we see a crime, or next time when we see somebody who is committing a crime, you have to understand. Uh, I am talking about certain degree, a certain classification of crimes, which is done reflexively. Okay, out of anger, killing out of anger, like that. Um, there are another spectrum, a deeper spectrum. Till now, we spoke about reflexes, which is a bit superficial. Now we go to a bit deeper. Now we think about a crime which is much more organized, like doing a scam. So they are not reflexively done; they are planned and done, executed. So those people, out of their greed, out of their greed mostly, I'm not saying 100%, out of their mostly out of their greed they are doing. At the start of the seminar itself, I mentioned something, the desire. Out of this greed they are committing crimes. Okay, they want more than what they require. They want to make money very quickly. They want to achieve things very fast. So this what happens when the greed comes. Some people, even very experienced people, they call greed is good. Oh my God! Because I'm definitely pointing out somebody. If you really, if you know them, you can understand that. So they will say greed is good. Definitely not. Greed makes you blind.
Yes, of course.
Something which makes you blind, it is never good.
Yes.
So when you are greedy, definitely what you'll do, you do something without thinking about it properly. You'll be in a hurry. Greed itself, you are in a hurry only. That's why greed comes. That patience is not there. So if they understood the clarity, if they have the clarity, so this is my life, this is I am. If I do this, it might happen. and even if I get it, it will not be suffice. It will make me to trigger, it will trigger me to do much more worse things. They will not have that clarity because they are engulfed in the greed, because they are blind. So in Mahabharata also there is a depiction, you know, mm, a blind guy, Dhritarashtra. So he's a blind guy. It is very well depicted because what he does is he will do something. He will do something out of greed or out of anger. He will do something, and again he will apologize for that, even though he is a king. So that's the kind of person he is. If you take Shakespeare also, he explained different characters. The characterization is very beautiful in Shakespeare's book. So you take it as Sherlock. So he's also wanted Antonius pound of flesh from near his heart. So what he does at the end of the game, he is blinded by the greed, and he asked a pound of flesh, but he's not getting the pound of flesh because he want to make the Antonius revenge, because he want the pound of flesh to make himself a bigger thing what he is today. He want to feel himself greater by acquiring what he wants. So like the same, when we speak also, we want to deliver some points. I want to speak it. If I speak it, I'm feeling good. So this is very important. How can we connect it? Because at certain time we should not say truth. We should not say the things even though it is true, because every time when you utter a word, think about the outcome. What will, even though it is a truth, what the impact is going to happen into the other person's life. One boy is falling down from a cycle. One boy is falling down from the cycle, or somebody is making a mistake. You should not say it is a mistake, because there is a very good chances he will realize that mistake and he will correct it. If I say it is a mistake, he will fear and he will think about how not to do that mistake. He will never learn how to do things correctly. He will think about how not to do the mistake. So pointing out the mistake of others is not always the best way. It's not always the best way. Eventually they will realize, because out of urge we point out, you are doing wrong. You are wrong. Because I did the same mistake. I'm sharing it to you. I used to point out mistakes made by one of my lectures, and it definitely backfired. So, out of my passion towards education, I pointed out mistakes. I even pointed out very clearly so they cannot defy it. So, those things definitely didn't go well in my academics. But afterwards, I turned the table because of my persistent humbleness. So that's how a society moves. So this is another level of crimes, or another level of pattern of thinking which makes people to do crime. Because I'm customizing to lawyers these things, because I just want to do something which are really useful to people to understand about crimes, because these are all the topics which can never be heard of. Because if you take YouTube, you can know about health tips, you can know about psychological tips, you can know about um, many entertainments, but you can never know about people who are ruining their life because we are not paying attention to them. That's why crime is happening. Basically, it's our mistake also. If we provide a proper attention to them, definitely the crime rate will go down. So those attention should be paid, and attention alone is not going to help. Definitely, we have to understand them, so how they behave and what are the emotions which they carry, which makes them to do crime. These are all the things which I want to customize for a few moments uh, to lawyers humbly. So definitely, you may differ in some points. We can discuss this out to understand better, not to you, but also to me. So these are the things. And again, I like to conclude by saying that free mind is a moral mind. If you free of negativity, if you free of vengeance, if you free of anger, if you are free of desire, if you free of greed, that's the right word. If you are free of this emotion, your mind will be free. If your mind is free, there is no way you will do any crime. You'll be moral. You'll be moral. Morality is not an idea. Morality is clarity. So that's the point I want to make here. I don't have PowerPoints. I just want my points to be powerful. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, definitely I am waiting to answer it. Please come forward. I can see people on screen. It will be very happy.
Sir, I have some doubts, so I think so. I need to ask few questions on it. When a faculty is taking a class, as I think so, many will be affected because of a faculty. Now you could see a lot of who have been appointed. They have lot of exams sorry. So lot of exams.
You can unmute and talk.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that. So I think so. You'll be knowing about a lot of faculties are coming in to take classes, completing their net set examinations. They have lot of criteria to become a faculty, to become a permanent faculty. What happens there is even when they come and join for 1 or 2 years, they are being treated as child by the senior faculties, senior professors. How do you think this? And what happens is when the faculties come in, they don't have like mindset or a psychological test to handle children's or to handle the level of academic people are coming out. It may be of doing a PG courses, it may be of UG courses, it may be of PhD scholars, it may be of a school or a primary standard. They, what happens is they are treating everybody as the same. This like they are not able to trace out the people, and they are not able to deliver the subject in a very in a clear or clarity manner. Even they lose sometimes morality. We see lot of cases that lectures or the professors are abusing their own or molesting their own kids for some reasons. It may be in colleges, it may be in schools. How do you feel this should be taken up? Because after completing their net set examination or any competitive exam, they're coming in, but still this happens. And but still this, like HOD, head of the department, somehow other, because a student or anybody who is doing a scholar, even I could see, even Sailendra Babu sir was giving his lecture. He was telling, I was studying, even my son was studying. I could observe only one thing, that the learning, the education is how important he is giving, and he want to continue it. As a student, he himself stated that he has been thinking why students are having mark based difference when he was able to give 100% content based subjects in a paper. So how do you see this, and how we need to a different version should be seen in handling faculties, because parents, if not, the kids give lot of time to their faculties, that is in schools, universities. How do you think this, and what type of values you would like to add upon? I want to know this, particularly from you, your side, sir.
Sure. First of all, I will add up two levels of solutions. I'll say the first level of solution, what you are expecting. Okay. Definitely, uh, when I was studying also, I had a moral science. So they will never consider it as important when I'm studying also. Even though the moral subject was there until fifth standard, it was never considered important because it is not important. We focus on other studies. This is only stories. But what is the point of knowing science, knowing history, knowing mathematics, and all these things without knowing about themselves?
Yeah.
Because the truth is that we are born to live. So living is not about earning money, or it is not about earning a place in the society. Living is about enjoying small things which happens in our life. So definitely we are in a hurry, and those moral values are not given importance only because it is not producing any money. It is not important at the end of the game. So if they have money, they can live their life, but they can survive. But only if you have moral, you can live your life. So those morality has to be given first importance, because these moralities has to be the solution which I'm saying right now. First level of solution. These moral studies has to be the top priorities. You want to create a society of superpowers, or you want to create a society of happy people. We have to decide. This has to be started from the uh, higher authorities in education system, as well as in the companies, as well as to the political leaders. They should keep the moral science as the top priority, because to create a healthy mindset in the society. So if this thing is achieved, if they made the moral thing as the top priority, if this thing is achieved, definitely other things will catch up, and definitely our society itself will change. So how it is done? So I said what to do. I'll say also how to do it. Okay. First, having a very good moral science studies, and also about teaching them good habits, how to live way for others, and even in traveling. In Singapore, also I heard that pregnant women and elderly, if somebody saw them standing, they will get up and give them their place. So, and then the government says that those elder people are the reason we have grown this much in Singapore. So they give a lot of respect to the elders. So in their education system itself, in their teaching itself, they are providing all such knowledge. Even the feeling also is imparted to others. We can say that is like what we say stone. he don't understand, he don't have feelings. That feelings can also be taught to children's. It is not about feeling never comes. Feelings can't be teached. It is a very what to say. They don't know. It is possible. Feelings and good habits and happiness can also be taught to people. So, providing them with very good education about health, physical health, and mental health. Good sleep is very important. What is the most powerful antioxidant in this world? It is melatonin, not glutathione. Glutathione we get from food. Melatonin we get from sleep. That's why I made a video about sleep also in my channel.
Yeah, that's it.
So if it is 2 times more powerful than vitamin E. They put vitamin E capsule and apply it in the face to have a glowing face. You don't have to put the vitamin E. You just sleep well. It is 2 times more powerful than vitamin E. This is a chemical understanding, but sleeping on the right time is very important. That's what I'm emphasizing. Because we are a scientific community, I want to communicate in a scientific way. Then only you'll understand that, oh, this is the good thing, so we have to do. But in olden days, they work too much and they sleep in the right time. They had a very good discipline. But today we have to use these modern words to make you do the same thing. You are not following. That's why I have to work so hard to enhance my knowledge. Just go to sleep at the right time. These things, if we teach them in the school, definitely they will understand and follow it. And we have to bring it into the ethics of companies. Companies also want to drain the bread out of the workers and employees, but they should think about their health also. Not putting them on the night shifts spoils their health. You can never compensate a money health with the money. You know, he will lose their time, he will lose his health. If you give money also, all the money will be spent on his health expenses. Money also gone, time also gone. So you do time, don't do overtime. Just do some work and come back to your home and be happy with whatever you have. So if these things has to be taught, health wise, mentally how to be happy, and to be happy, what are the characters you should develop? You can develop characters and emotion also into people. At the same time, you should teach about good food. If you eat too much food, spicy foods at the night, it will spoil the sleep, spoil the good night sleep. All these things are very important. So this is the type of education how to do. I'm not saying only what to do, I'm also saying how to do. So the second level of understanding, I'll tell now. First level of the understanding, what you expected. Second level of understanding is the reality. Even though we are talking like this, society will run for the things which is quickly achieved. Delta 4. Delta 4 is a concept in MBA. So people will do things which is easy, not difficult. People will do things which is quicker, not longer. Okay? So definitely people will go behind desire, they will go behind pleasure. All the good people or academicians, we can say, in olden days, pandit sages, all they tried to impart the same knowledge which I am saying right now to people around them. Okay, in olden days also they tried, but the proportion of good people, ordinary people, and enlightened people is like 99 and 1. Out of 19 people, 1 people will understand. So the same proportion will just rise up and go down throughout the history. Okay, the understanding is very simple. So water will flow in the direction of deeper uh, depth. Okay, where the slide is present, water will go in that direction. People also like water. Slides are their situations. They will go like that only. This is the level of understanding. You can never change the whole society to be good. You can never change the whole society to be bad also. These proportions will be constantly maintained. Even if I don't do the job, naturally some people will do the job. That is the role of the nature. Nature will take care of it. So we are just we are doing our roles to provide the knowledge what we have. Nature is taking care of everybody. This is the second level of understanding, which is very broader, and it is also very difficult to accept also. So first level of thing is, if you want to change, there are ways to change. The second level of understanding is, it is difficult because people will go based on their instinct, not their knowledge. So this is the second level of understanding. Okay, I think I've given my answer.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, I want to add upon. Sir, am I audible? I want to add upon
Yes.
one question, sir. Talking about parents, like parents play a very vital role in everybody's life. What happens is they marry, but what happens is it reflects to the kid. I think so. You can get my point. They are stimulating and instigating the kids with religious based point. So until we know, everybody knows, we have the adult franchise, that is voting age is 18. But what parents do is, before the child opens his or her eyes, they give some religious based symbols to the kid. Either it can be of anything, irrespective of whatever religion they are practicing. They dominate, or they give some lot of instant or something background of it, because a child, or I, this is my personal view, the kid or anybody until 18, they should have analysis of all types of religion, irrespective of what the religion they are following. They should go up with all types of religion. They should read Bible, they should read Ramayana, they should read Jain's peoples or Buddhist people holy book, or they should go with the Quran. They should read with all types of religion, like Jews, they are having their own holy book. They should read everything, and they should follow a particular, they should identify a particular religion at the age of 18 or 21. I feel this is a point of me, because we are in India and we have freedom to practice any religion. Even lot of people's in a famous personality view, even people have changed their religion, converted their religion. But what happens is, when a particular coming to the religious point of view, they are completely being suppressed, but it is difficult for them to identify what religion they love or to follow. So how you see this point of view on the parents? Because I talked about teacher, I want to know about this point. If time permits, sir should give some insight on this as well. So how do you see this point of mine? Because they should analyze the religion, and they should decide. Because even I would like to point out a transgender's like conversion. They used to choose their own parents of their own likes. That is some completely different and unique, I do feel, because even everybody's parents is not same for like in love or affection they give or take care. So how do you see this? Because everybody is an individual, everybody has their own identity, and they do have uniqueness. So how do you see this two point of view, selecting of parents and selecting of religion? Because we are in a country where with all freedoms we do have, and fundamental rights talks about it as well. How do you see this point of view? A final question, sir. So I want to know your view.
The thing is very simple, because the ideology we carry is not coherent. It's not coherent with the reality. That's the problem. Because your whole family is believing something. Your whole family will love you uh, being in the family. But the problem is when they try to change from one, they want to choose their parents. If they want to change their belief or religion, the whole love will turn into hatred.
Yeah.
This is the pressure. This is the pressure. The problem is not hating. It is losing the love of the family members. It is losing the love of the family members. So it is not a unconditional love. It is a conditional love which is placed upon you.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
You know, we can say that unconditional love is saintly, conditional love is not good, it is bad. You know, people are very simple. People are very simple minded. They only know how to love, they don't know about the condition. But those conditions are subconscious. Okay. But what they love is true. While they love you, definitely
You'll accept.
they love you fully. They will not think about any condition.
Yeah.
At that point, the condition will go. There is no point of conditional and unconditional love. Okay. This is where people suffer to choose their families or change their religions. So it is because of the whole system is created. If you want to change the cogwheel, you have to change the whole system, all of the cogwheel. Okay, which is quite impossible task. That's why I said ideology is different from reality. It is not coherent. Okay, so this is the level of understanding.
So absolutely, sir. I really feel very blushed. Like, see, exactly you just said what was like in a very easy way, in a simple way, in understanding way. You just reflected the words. So thank you so much. And I would like to give my hearty thanks to you, sir, because I think so you were rushing up with your other programs as well. So thank you so much for giving your plenty of times and yeah, I am a subscriber of your channel and it is very useful, sir. It is really useful. I have updated. I have molded myself in a next level of a way or a platform. I have developed this way. It's all because of your words as well. Because your YouTube channel has made a lot of changes in my life as well. So the point of view of myself taking up and moving with the other steps, like feeling that this is my day and I need to do something special today. A lot of things I have learned from you, sir. So keep inspiring me, and you should do your continuous process, and you should progress in a world level. And it's all about my prayers, and I think so everybody will pray for it. And a few words like I do have lot of questions, but I don't think so it will give time for it. I feel you should come again to my channel with lot of participant inviting, because this is Sunday. I think so. I'm so sorry for that. It is Sunday, and but I can't leave it like that itself, because every month is a very special. Every day is very special. We need to learn something, and I have been. This is the third guest I have invited. Thanks so much for accepting my invitation and coming up with giving lot of points, which is very very important, as you said, moral science, moral values, self control, self motivation, desire. These are very key words I would like to, because when I going through the subjects of psychology, it was very depth, it was very depth, it was very real, it was very a reality to the point, which is not been taught in any platform or any schools or universities. It is a very big gap, I would say, and rightly you pointed out all the points without leaving any gap. You just filled everything which I was even lagging with those clarities, and thank you so much for it. And yeah, it's a very great pleasure for me to be a part of it. and joining here is a very great because this will reach all the advocates as well. That is the only thing I want to make sure. Not only education, not only money, more than that, mental health and even a worker who is continuously working for 24 hours. X 7 you said rightly said, because people want to run because of EMI, their loans, their desire, their greediness. They run and run and run, and finally they come up with, I need some peace, I need some rest, I need some mental freeness. This is the only point everybody says. Everybody says that I want நிம்மதியான வாழ்க்கை இருந்தா போதும், எனக்கு வேற எதுவும் வேணாம், நான் சாதிச்சிட்டேன், போதும், எனக்கு செஞ்சதெல்லாம் போதும், எனக்கு ரொம்ப டயர்டா இருக்கு. This is the word people come up when they come at the age of 60 plus. எனக்கு நான் ஓடுனதெல்லாம் போதும். This is the point they say. எனக்கு நிம்மதியா இருந்தா போதும். நிம்மதி. This peace comes when they become old. I think so. We have learned at this age, this platform. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, sir. Thank you so much. We'll meet in next program with sir's sufficient time. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, participant. And your certificates will be provided on time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Last word, sir. Would you like to add some last words, sir?
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Definitely, I hope for a very long time I didn't speak, so I also a bit a spectacle about my own speeches, whether it will go in a flow or it will stuck in the middle. So just because I didn't constantly talking, but after a very long time we gave a break. Thank you for that. And I totally enjoyed talking to you, and the questions are very beautiful, and it also broadens my view. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll just end the meeting. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, participant.